Enter a world of enchantment, of enlightenment, Meg's magical mansion.
Come, whoever you are, to Meg's Magical Mansion, a virtual guest house for spiritual wayfarers, a place where the ordinary becomes magical, where wisdom is yours for the asking, and where your higher nature is just a wish away. I'm Meg, and this is my scrumptious parlor maid, Parfait.
Hi.
And here in my lap is my beautiful little assistant, Miss Alice Poopers. Thank you, Parfait. We're so glad you joined us today, because today is our Swingin' Samhain special. And we're going to learn a little bit more about this wonderful holiday, and we're going to take you for a inside peek at Meg's Magical Mansion Swingin' Samhain Soiree. Well, that was exciting and energetic. I don't even know what to say anymore about these words of wisdom. But today, our words of wisdom and our meditation are going to be all kind of smushed up in one. Because today, we're going to have a reading of a poem by Edgar Allan Poe. And guess what? It's not The Raven. I know! Who would think that Edgar Allan Poe actually wrote other things? But we're going to hear a poem called The Spirits of the Dead. So relax, get ready to meditate as we listen to a spooky Halloweeny poem by Edgar Allan Poe.
Spirits of the Dead by Edgar Allan Poe. My soul shall find itself alone, mid dark thoughts of the gray tombstone, not one of all the crowd to pry into thine hour of secrecy. Be silent in that solitude, which is not loneliness, for then the spirits of the dead who stood in life before thee are again in death around thee, and their will shall overshadow thee. Be still. The night, though clear, shall frown, and the stars shall look not down from their high thrones in the heaven, with the light like hope to mortals given. But their red orb without beam to thy weariness shall seem as a burning and a fever which would cling to thee forever. Now our thoughts thou shalt not banish, now our visions ne'er to vanish. From thy spirit shall thy pass, no more like dewdrops from the grass. The breeze, the breath of God, is still, and the mist upon the hill, shadowy, yet unbroken, is a symbol and a token, how it hangs upon the trees, a mystery of mysteries.
I hope you enjoyed hearing a different poem from Edgar Allan Poe. I love The Raven, but it's nice to mix it up. He's written a lot of great poetry. So I hope you enjoyed hearing that very spooky poem. Now, let's talk about Samhain. Of course, on the pagan wheel of the year, Samhain falls between Mabon, which is the autumn equinox, and Yule, which is the winter solstice. And it's a fire festival. Much like Beltane in May, it is the third and final of the three, that's right, three harvest festivals. And this is the time to welcome the dark half of the year. We kind of crossed that line at Mabon, but now we're really feeling the days starting to shorten, fall starting to roll in. The veil, as we keep talking about, is thinning between the physical world and the spirit world. So this is a holiday when it is very, 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 very important to honor your ancestors and to honor the dead. I do a number of things around the mansion. Check out my refrigerator. I have all these family photos here, and I've got all of them on my fridge. I put them up every single Samhain. And also the black mirror that we made a few weeks ago, and you can check out that episode as well. But if you notice, I've got this set up with a lot of family pictures around it. And the reason I did that was to encourage my ancestors to use this black mirror as a portal to communicate with me. Now, this being the midpoint between the equinox and the solstice, it is a fire festival, as I said. Ancient Celtic tradition would be to clean out your hearth, let your fire die out, clean everything out, and then there would be a community bonfire and a big celebration, at the end of which each family would take an ember home from the bonfire and they would use that to relight the hearth with a new fire. Some other early Celtic Samhain traditions are things like feasting for 3 days and 3 nights, or possibly even longer. Much feasting, drinking, and merriment. However, your attendance was mandatory. No excuses. You had to come present yourself to local kings and chieftains. And during the festival, the use of weapons and committing any crime at all would be met with the death sentence. So they really kept a lid on the celebration that way. Although a number of places had some very wild games, so I'm sure people could kind of get their jollies out that way. Also a time when offerings would be left for the fae or the fairies, and you want to make sure that you are always, even today, the fairies have not changed, they're still around. You want to honor the fairies, you want to respect them, and if you do, the chances of them blessing you go way up. Fairies can place many blessings on you. However, fairies are also known to be mischievous and pranksters, and well, they downright not so good sometimes. So you don't want to cross a fairy. You want to definitely stay on their good side. Leaving offerings, very important. There was always the stories and the rumors about, fairies kidnapping children or kidnapping people. So people at this time would often dress as animals or dress as monsters, so the fairies would not kidnap them. Of course, the ancient Celtic traditions come with all kinds of folklore and legends and monsters, like Puka, the shape-shifting monster, can turn into all kinds of animals, but is often portrayed as a rabbit or a horse and will ask you to get on its back. There's many stories about Puka and people taking rides on the back of Puka. Then there's the Lady Gwyn, a spirit who dresses all in white, often appears with no head, accompanied by a black pig. But you really don't want to see her, and you probably won't get too long to look at her, because from what I hear, she chases people and tries to get you. So you want to run and scream from Lady Gwyn. And then, of course, there's always the legends like the Doulahan, who could appear as imps or headless horsemen with fiery eyes and were largely seen as a death omen. As we moved into the Middle Ages, the jack-o'-lanterns start to appear, beginning first with turnips carved out with a coal ember put inside, and then the Irish introduced the same concept but with a pumpkin. Around the Middle Ages, you also start to see dumb suppers becoming popular, and a dumb supper is a dinner party where you invite all of your relatives who passed over to spirit. You have a big party, you put out food for everybody, including your ancestors in spirit. The children might do games or entertainment for the spirit ancestors, and you can just sit back with them and swap stories and catch up on all the family gossip. I actually have dumb suppers almost every year, so I love that tradition, and it is one of my personal favorites. And as Christianity moved into the British Isles, The church, of course, like it did with pretty much every holiday on the pagan wheel of the year, had to figure out how to fit Christian holidays in with the existing pagan holidays. In the 5th century, Pope Boniface just moved the whole Samhain thing to May 13th and said it was going to be a holiday about saints and martyrs, and people kept having their bonfires on October 31st and November 1st. So finally in the 9th century, Pope Gregory moved it back to the end of October, beginning of November, creating All Saints' Day on November 1st and All Souls' Day on November 2nd. And of course, October 31st became what we all know as All Hallows' Eve. And these pagan traditions continued intermingling with the Christian holidays until the 19th century, when the whole big bunch of it all moved to America with Irish immigrants. And the Irish immigrants brought most of the traditions we had with them, including trick-or-treating, which came from the idea of mumming, which is where groups go house to house, singing songs for the dead and being rewarded with cakes or treats. And of course, that idea of pranking goes back to those fairies, because, you know, if you don't treat them right, they will prank you. They will cause mischief and they will cause trouble. So you be nice to those fairies. And for those of you out there who are Wiccans, this is considered your witch's new year. I personally am not Wiccan, but I do consider it my witch's new year. Many druids celebrate with bonfires and witches' balls. So for all my other friends out there who are celebrating Samhain, I hope you're having a great time. Whether you consider it your new year or in whatever way you are celebrating, enjoy. Try getting in touch with some of your ancestors in spirit world, because now is the time. And of course, what Samhain would be complete without a party? So I thought it would be fun to take you guys along to our Meg's Magical Mansion swingin' Samhain soiree. Oh, by the way, I'm coming as a fabulous phoenix. I don't know what your costume is. Come on, let's go to the party.
Hey, I got a noise complaint about this party.
Oh my, officer, were we being too loud?
Not loud enough. Come on. You know why I pulled you over?
Because you were bored and you wanted some cute company?
Absolutely.
Do you know where ghosts buy their clothes?
No! Where do ghosts buy their clothes?
At a boutique!
What's a flaming phoenix's favorite snack? Firecracker!
What do you call somebody who can eat candy corn with both hands? Ambidextrose.
Where does a vampire invest his money? Cryptocurrency.
Parfait!
Yeah?
What room do ghosts not need in a house?
I don't know.
The living room!
What do you get when you cross a werewolf with candy corn? A corn dog.
A vampire tried to bite an artery in my neck.
Oh. Was it in vain?
tired after that much dancing. I hope you had a good time. I know I certainly did. Now, in the words of Buddha, thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. Thanks for being here with us today at our Swingin' Samhain soiree. Hey, don't forget to like, share, hit that red subscribe button, ring the bell, and then we'll let you know when we post new episodes. You can also check us out on Instagram. And of course, we'll be back here next week for more fun at Meg's Magical Mansion.
Do you know why demons and ghosts are such good friends? Because demons are a ghoul's best